Cosy and Country, welcome to my kitchen. I'm here today in partnership with Cosy Owl candles to show you how to make your own wax melts using clamshell molds. So let's get going.
So let's run through what we have here. So I have my soy pillow wax, I've got my electric weighing scale, I've chosen a 50ml fragrance oil in fresh linen. To go with that I have the cream dye and it comes in little shards like this. I've also got these star clamshell molds. They're just a little bit different to the normal ones and they're a little bit bigger. Then I also have my melting pot, my wooden spoon and my thermometer. So using your weighing scales, measure out 600 grams of the soy pillow wax. I usually like to use around a 2-to-1 ratio here, so a 50ml fragrance oil will go perfect with my 600 grams of wax. So once you're all measured out, get your wax onto a medium heat and let it boil down. So I like to let it boil to about halfway down and then I'll pop it onto a lower heat just to let it simmer. Don't worry too much about your temperatures at this point, just let it melt all the way through. And then once you are melted all the way through, just check on the temperature and see how high it is because it will have gone to quite a high temperature. So I'm going to take mine off the heat because it's all the way through now. And then I'll just take the temperature here. I know that it's going to be over, but I just need to see how far over it is, and then I'll leave it off the heat just for a couple of minutes to let it cool down to 65 degrees. And at that point, I'll be able to start adding colour and fragrance. So after leaving it for 5 minutes, it's 65 degrees now and I can add my colour. So here I'm only going to use a small pinch because I want it to be verging on white. Just with it being a fresh linen fragrance, I think that'll go nicely. So let that melt all the way through the wax and just an extra pinch for good measure. Seal it up and then give it a good stir and make sure the colour goes all the way through. You can see the wax hasn't really changed that much and that's kind of what I'm looking for. So now I can pop in my whole fragrance oil. So pop all of that in and keep stirring it as well, just so that you know that the fragrance is going to go all the way through the wax. And because I'm a Yorkshire woman, I like to get every last drop out. So give it a good stir around, and at this point I have got it on a low heat as well, just to make sure that it doesn't cool down too much. Once your wax is around 60 degrees, I like to get it poured. Pour over your containers, and there's no technique really, just don't let it spill all the way over. I like to fill up part the way over, and then at least there's a little bit of a gap. So after half an hour, I will leave them and then come back and top the rest of the container up, just so that they're completely flat on top, because that's how I like them. So once you've filled them all up, leave them overnight just to flatten off completely, and after 24 hours, you can start using them. So open up your clamshell, and I just like to squeeze the bottom of the clamshell just to loosen it up, and then it will pop straight out onto your hand. And then like a little chocolate bar, you can just snap off the bit that you want and just place one block on top of your melter, and then you're good to go. Pop a tea light under and make the room smell amazing.